Hey Lenovo Legion Go and handheld fans, let's talk about the Xbox ROG Ally X and the Lenovo Legion Go 2 because Windows Central just posted an article that talks about how easy it is to upgrade the Lenovo Legion Go's SSD. Now, apparently, the Xbox ROG Ally X and the Legion Go 2 seem to be approaching upgradability extremely differently. Now, why upgrading the SSD in the Lenovo Legion Go 2 or the Xbox Ally is important. First off, they come with like 1 terabyte of storage built in. Now, there's up to like 4 terabytes of storage. You can get a 4 terabyte SSD these days. So the more storage you have in a handheld console like this, the better, right? It means when you take this thing out and about, you can install a bunch of games on it without having to worry about delegating, certain, storage to different games, uninstalling games to make space for new games. I mean, we're talking about games these days, upwards of 100 gigabytes each. So having something like a 2 terabyte upgrade or a 4 terabyte upgrade can make a huge difference in these devices. And it was the first thing I did with my Steam Deck. I pulled out that 512 gigabyte from the OLED, or was it a 1 terabyte? I think it was a 1 terabyte. Pulled that out, swapped in a 2 terabyte, and slapped in a 1 terabyte microSD to have a 3 terabyte Steam Deck. And it was one of the best decisions I've made because I was able to dual boot the Steam Deck. I was able to install a bunch of games and not really have to worry about storage. I've yet to fill that thing up. Now, before we get into this, please like, subscribe, click the bell icon. It means the world. Take the time if you feel like it. Only if you want to click like and subscribe right now. It really helps out a lot. But basically, Windows Central, Rebecca Spear at Windows Central had a go at trying to upgrade her SSD inside the Lenovo Legion Go 2. And she claims to have done it with the first one, and it was, it was a little bit difficult. I mean, like she says here, she swapped out her original Legion Go's SSD, and while it wasn't the easiest change she'd done, it was still doable, so I was expecting something similar for the Legion Go 2. Well, not the case. She says that she recently discovered that the Asus ROG Ally and Lenovo are approaching handheld upgradability differently, and it could have a negative effect on one of them in the long run. Let me explain. Last week, when ROG Xbox Ally pre-orders went live, SanDisk revealed that they had designed 2 new Western Digital Black SSDs exclusively for these gaming handhelds, so the Lenovo Legion Go 2 and obviously the ROG Ally. And this implies that Asus ROG has not only communicated with SanDisk on how to create these SSDs, but also designed these upcoming handhelds with upgradability in mind. I was happy to hear this news, she said, but I didn't think too much of it at the time, and since I've been expecting this after all, I easily upgraded the SSDs in my ROG Ally, my ROG Ally X, so I expected the process will at least be equally easy to do on these next-gen Xbox Ally handhelds. So while working on my Legion Go 2 review, I was very disappointed when I opened the next-gen handheld, only to find that Lenovo didn't design its device with upgradability in mind. Damn. This is kind of concerning because if I get a Legion Go 2, I would love to get my hands on one. This would be one of the first things that I did. And again, she goes on to say that she swapped out our Legion Go 1's SSD before it was doable. I mean, they have it right there, right? Literally unscrew the SSD, pop it up, pull it out, remove the sheath on it if there's like a RF interference sheath around it, remove that. I think that's only for the Steam Deck. I'm not sure if the I'm not sure if the Lenovo Legion Go has one. It doesn't look like it does. But replacing it is as simple as replacing one on your gaming PC, say, right? She goes as far as to say the risk is high enough when removing the Legion Go 2 SSD that I honestly do not recommend doing it unless you're an experienced PC upgrader. You see, in order to remove the Legion Go 2 SSD, you have to remove the fan. The fan, which has a thermal plate that extends over the SSD and is glued there to keep in position. This design helps the handheld stay cool and work more efficiently, but it makes it harder to remove the SSD without accidentally damaging nearby components. That is unreal that Lenovo didn't have the foresight to think about people that might want to upgrade their freaking SSDs inside these things. Now, I'm going to talk about this in another video about how the Lenovo Legion Go 2 and the ROG Ally X Xbox ROG Ally doesn't support microSD express cards, which offer close to SSD level transfer speeds, which would be great for playing new AAA games, right? So your only option really, if you want to play new next-gen games and not have any issues with loading and whatnot and textures loading in, you need to upgrade the SSD. So for Lenovo to make the mistake of making this thing extremely hard to update and upgrade storage-wise, It's just concerning. It's a little bit of a disappointment and a bummer because I think the Legion Go 2 is one of the most compelling new handhelds out there. And I've not seen a lot of other reviewers discuss about how easy, reviewers that have got their hands on this, discuss how hard or how easy it is to upgrade the SSD in this thing. So for this reviewer to basically give it a shot, again, massive kudos to Rebecca Spear over on Windows Central for trying this out and letting us know and being brutally honest with us. This is kind of concerning. The design helps. So yeah, like I said, like she said, you have to remove the fan, which has a thermal plate that extends over the SSD and is glued there. It's glued there. So you have to potentially heat this thing up to remove this, or pry it up, remove it, get rid of the glue. And yeah, it's just wild. She said she noted this as a con in my Legion Go 2 review because easy upgradability is important in any PC. Plus, being able to upgrade a handheld makes consumers like it more. Absolutely. Just look at the Steam Deck. One of the reasons so many people love it is that it was designed in such a way that you can easily customize it and turn it into the machine you want it to be. And that includes upgrading the SSD, as I did and many other Steam Deck and handheld gamers do. She goes on to justify why you'd want an SSD upgradability. One SSD upgradability is for gaming handhelds. One, being able to swap out parts allows her to choose a configuration she can afford and then upgrade to a better configuration at her own pace or your own pace. Two, having more storage allows you to keep more game files on your handheld and allows the device to run more efficiently. Three, SSDs are significantly faster than microSD cards, as we discussed before. To achieve the best possible loading and file transfer speeds when gaming, it's better to use an internal storage solution. And we wouldn't have to worry about that if they supported microSD express cards like the Nintendo Switch 2, but they didn't. So we're forced to go SSD, the SSD route, and to make SSD upgrades hard and to increase the risk of damaging components isn't the way to go. Four, if something goes wrong, I want to be able to repair my devices and swap out bad parts for a new one. It saves me money in the long run, so I didn't have to buy a brand new device if this thing goes wrong. And five, I honestly get a thrill out of customizing my hardware. It makes me feel more connected to my devices when I put some components in myself. Upgradability isn't just about convenience, it's also about community and fulfillment. And you can see here, this is a shot of the inside of a Steam Deck, and you can see all the components are like, it's like got layered controller boards and layered chipsets on top of each other. So you can easily just unscrew things and replace parts willy-nilly if you want to. And I love that about the Steam Deck. Valve did such a good job designing it. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the Xbox ROG Ally SSD is probably really easy to replace. I mean, I've opened up a couple of ROG Allies, apologies, in my time, and they usually make the SSD very accessible. So like I says, it's just a disappointment that the Legion Go 2s is not. Meanwhile, it looks like more Legion Go 2 owners will need to rely on professional help if they need to change the SSD. So there's the obvious convenience factor, of course. There's another aspect as well. Customization, creating closer connections between consumers and companies. When an audience recognizes that a device has been designed so they can easily upgrade it, it makes them feel better towards the company that created it and allows fans to bond. And let's be honest, if you spend this much money on a handheld console, $1,300 plus taxes on top of that, you know, you want to feel like you own it and you could upgrade it and you have that little peace of mind that goes along with it. And that's why things like this are important, right? And they're touting these as handheld gaming PCs that you could dock up and use as full-fledged gaming PCs. So upgradability is super important. And for a device as big as the Lenovo Legion Go 2, I would have thought, you know, that would have been a priority for them. So yeah, kudos to Rebecca Spear. Thank you for giving us all the heads up. Let me know in the comments, are you getting a Legion Go 2 and do you plan on upgrading the SSD? And upgrading the SSD, is that a risk you're willing to take? Are you willing to have to unscrew the fan, the cooling plate underneath that's attached to the fan, break the glue that's underneath to get access to the SSD to do the upgrade? Is that something you're willing to do? Are you worried about doing that? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, Legion Go 2 either way is one of the hands down one of the most exciting future-packed handheld gaming PCs of 2025, and the more I see it, the more I want one. But yeah, a little bit disappointing news as far as upgradability is concerned, but yeah, it sucks. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. If you love handheld gaming, please take the time to like and subscribe and click the bell icon. It means a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye.
Let's go.